Hello my viewers, you are welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be evaluating this problem. What I have here is square root of 6 minus square root of 27. So how are we going to evaluate this? Let me start off by breaking this root 27 down. Of course, we can do that because 27 can be expressed as 9 times 3. 9 is a perfect square, which means we can take the square root of 9 to give us a whole number. So let's start by doing that. Now I'm going to write 6 minus the square root of what? 9 times 3 with a square root on it like this. So moving on to the next line, I'm going to have 6 minus what? Root 9 times root 3. Yes, we can actually distribute the square root to the two of them as I've done like this, okay? We can do that. Now, from here, I know that this square root of 9 is what? 3. So I'm going to write that this is equal to what? 6 minus 3 root 3 with the square root on it like this. Then again, as you can see, we still have this radical, this big radical on it. And if we have to remove it, it can only be done if this, what you have in the radical, can be expressed as a perfect square. See what I mean? If you have a minus b all squared, and you have a radical on it like this, you can cancel out, leaving us with what? A minus b. But clearly, this, what we have here, this 6 minus 3 root 3 is not a perfect square, or cannot be expressed as this, at least for now. So the question is, how can we manipulate 6 minus 3 root 3 such that we are going to have it expressed in this form, a minus b all squared, for us to be able to cancel the square and the square root? So let's do some manipulation, if you like. Now back again to a minus b all squared. If you expand this, what are you going to have? A squared minus 2ab plus what? B squared. So if you can express 6 minus root 3 like this in this form, then I will just return it back to this. Then the square will cancel the square root. How do we express it in this form, by the way? What we have here is 6. 6 is not a perfect square. 6 is not a perfect square. So we cannot express it like we have here, a squared. Neither is 3 root 3 a perfect square. So what we are going to do first, I'm going to multiply 6 minus 3 root 3 by 2. And you know, you cannot just multiply by 2 because you'll be altering the number. So if I multiply by 2, I also have to divide by 2. This 2 will cancel the effect that the 2 would have created. So if I multiply by 2, I have to divide by 2. Because when 2 cancels 2, it will give you back the original number, which is 6 minus 3 root 3. So let's do that. I'm going to say 2 over 2, okay, bracket 6 minus 3 root 3, all right, with this square root of it like this. Notice, if you cancel out, it will give you back what? 6 minus 3 root 3. So the reason why I'm multiplying by 2, because if you multiply 6, this 6 now, let me show you. If you multiply 6 by 2, you will get 12. And I can write 12 like this, 9 plus 3. 9 is a perfect square. 3 can be useful later, but let's just multiply by 2 first and let's see what that gives us. Are you ready for this? Let's do this together. So I'm going to have that this 2 is going to multiply everything you have in the bracket, and I'm going to have what? I'm going to have 2 times 6 is 12, then minus 2 times 3 root 3 is what? The 2 will multiply the 3, giving you what? 6. So you have 6 root 3 all divided by what? By 2. But we still have the square root on it like this. Okay, we are getting somewhere. So I'm going to break 12 or express 12 as what? 9 plus 3, like I told you earlier. So let's quickly do that. Now this is going to be what? Equal to 9 plus 3, all right, minus 6 root 3 over 2 with the square root on it. Okay, so the next line is going to be what? We're almost getting close to our answer. 9 will become what? 3 raised to the power of 2. All right, yes, because 3 raised to the power of 2 is what? 9. But what about this 3? How can I express it as a square of another number? Do you know that 3 is also equal to root 3 raised to power 2. Because this raised to power 2 will cancel the square root, and then you have 3. So let's express 3 as what? Root 3 raised to the power of 2. So I'm going to write plus root 3 raised to the power of what? 2. It's almost becoming this form. So when you square this, you have what? A squared minus 2ab plus what? B squared. So I have a squared number here, and I have another one that has a power of 2. Okay, what about this minus 2ab? This minus 2ab. What can we do with this? I think we're getting somewhere close to that. So this 6 here, I can write it as what? 2 times 3. Or let me say 2.3. Same thing actually. Then root 3. Does this look like this? Does this here look like this? I think so. Let me just rearrange this so I will show you what I mean. Now, let me just write like this. 3 squared minus 2 lot of 3 root 3. Okay, then plus what? Root 3 squared. Let's compare this now with what I wrote earlier. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Now, if A is 3 and B is root 3, can't you see that this and this relate in every way? Yes, it does. See, A is 3, that's the 3 here. B is what? Root 3. That's the root 3 here. So this and this, okay, this and this. You see that? Then see 2 and 2. Minus and minus. A is what? 3. So A here, 3 here. And what is B? B is root 3. And what is B here? Root 3. So yes. So we have succeeded in expressing it in a way where we end up having a perfect square. So watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to write it like this. So because A minus B all squared is equal to A squared minus 2ab plus B squared. Now, if you expand this, you are going to get this actually. But I'm choosing not to do that to save time. So this is going to be equal to what? See, 3 minus root 3 all squared. Yes, of course. Now, permit me, I'm going to write the square root here over 2. I just got carried away. So here again, the square root over 2. Same here. Okay, let me just rewrite this to make it neat. So it must be coming rough. So this is going to be what? Equal to what? 3 minus what? Root 3 all squared. Then what? Over 2 with the square root on it like this. Can you see? Beautiful. Now watch this. I'm going to distribute this square root to what? To 2 and what I have as the numerator. So it's going to be what? Equal to 3 minus root 3 all squared with the square root on it like this. Then square root of what? Of 2. So the square root will cancel the square. And then I will end up having what? 3 minus root 3 over root 2. Now, because I don't want to express my answer or leave my answer where I have an irrational term in the denominator, I'm going to rationalize. So to do that, I'll multiply the numerator and denominator by what I have in the denominator. So multiply this by root 2 and multiply this by what? By root 2. So this is going to be equal to what? Root 2 times 3 is 3 root 2. And root 2 times root 3 is minus root 6. All divided by what? Root 2 times root 2 is root 4. And root 4 is equal to what? 2. So this is what? Over 2. And this is the result we get finally. I hope you got value from this video. If you did, kindly share, like, and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I hope to see you in the next video. It's bye for now.